Hello everybody, it is the disembodied voice of Reese Spice from Memory Card Vault in conjunction with Size Matters, and today on What's on Game Pass is a fantastic game that I truly love, and it is called Dead Cells, as you can see it on the screen. It was published and developed by Motion Twin Studios. It came out in August of 2018. It had a second release on iOS of August 2019, and it will be out on Android later on in 2019 this year. So it's pretty much out on everything, so there is no excuse not to play it. Now, before I get started in the live playthrough where I'll talk a bit about it, I want to give a little shout out to Joanne Luan, and I believe that's your name, and he is the composer of the score for this game, and he has done an incredible job doing it. It's very atmospheric, so yeah, big shout out to you. Well done, you musical genius, sir. But we're going to get started in this game. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as we go for the first 15 and 20 minutes. But we are going to start on my save file because I don't want to start again because it's taken me a long time to upgrade the minimal upgrades that I have. So, shall we get started? Let's get started on normal mode. So, what sort of game is Dead Cells? Well, Dead Cells is a roguelike, procedurally generated metroidvania game. So what that means is procedurally generated, so each of the areas is going to be set out different every time you start a run. A roguelike, well, it's a dungeon crawler, isn't it, with upgrades and everything like that, which everybody loves. A metroidvania sort of game is, if you remember back in the day, Castlevania and Metroid, you can only get to certain parts of certain levels with certain upgrades. So, with that being said, let's start. Now, I have recently died and I'm going to start a new run for you, but you do not start with money. You have to generate money, and each time you die, you lose it. But I have got an upgrade that lets me keep some of what I lost. Now, as we run through here, these are always here, and these are some of the upgrades that I have unlocked, but you don't always get to keep them when you die, which is kind of cruel, but kind of fair, so, you know, you kind of got to deal with it. Up here as well, you can unlock time trial modes and daily challenges, which I won't do because I am not very good, because I have never actually completed this game. And as you come through here, these are some of the weapons you unlocked, but despite which ones you've unlocked, you will get a random drop each time you start. So we're going to take the balance blade one, we're going to take the beginner bow, and we're not going to take the shields because I don't like them. And here is a door that you can just knock on, and it doesn't really do a lot. The further you get in this game and the more you play it, you will unlock certain vendors and traders that are in the dungeons, and they sell rare items, but I have not made it that far yet because I am not very good. Even though I've played it a bunch, I just like it. It's good fun, and this is pretty much all you do. You go around, you collect the cells, which are your currency, as well as money being currency, and you just fight all the enemies that you can see, and you do it in the stylish way. Now, there is also a very deep lore when it comes to Dead Cells, but I will tell you the basics about it. You are this prisoner. Oh, yeah, a kebab, very nice. You are this prisoner, and you are finding out why everyone has gone mad due to a plague, and that is pretty much it. And the rest is left for you to find in this fantastic, dark and deceptive world. But now, we're just going to run and kill a whole bunch of dudes, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. See, here's another thing as well. Usually when you start off the game, you will not be able to do this. But I have got a vine rune that helps me grow, otherwise you would not be able to reach this area. And with it being procedurally generated, it might not always be there. So it gives a massive, massive opportunity for replayability. The game is just fighting enemies, rolling around, and you've got to try and link it all together and look pretty cool while you're doing it. Because when you get a good combo going and you get a good run, it feels like you've actually done something and accomplished something. The enemies are quite varied throughout the different areas that we'll get to. Hopefully we'll make it to the second area and I can show you. There's always going to be the same similar ones that you find, but there are a few different ones and a few different variants. So there he is. That is the next area. That is a toxic sewer. I don't like The toxic sewer is not too bad. It's the ancient sewer that is the right bad bastard of them both. So we'll go there, and we've unlocked that. We know where that is now. And you also get teleporters to teleport you around the dungeon of where you start, so you never get too lost, and you can always sort of find your way. Oh, let me just attack this archer. So hopefully we can get on kind of a good run before we die. Now, as you can see, I've unlocked, well, I have not unlocked, but I've earned nearly 9,000 gold, and I've got 7 cells. Cells are mainly used for upgrades, but they're your permanent upgrades, and the money is used for upgrades in the runs that you do. But yeah, this is all pretty basic. I haven't done anything particularly cool yet. That is the slam attack. You don't... Oh, I keep missing this guy, don't I? The slam attack you don't get right at the start, because it is one of them upgrades that I've unlocked. And I'm happy to do so. I'm more than happy. But that is one that you keep. The weapons you don't. The upgrades that you receive throughout. I'll explain it all when we get there. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself because I'm getting excited, because I think this is brilliant. I have put tens of hours into this game, and yet I have not completed it because it's just too hard. There we go. Here's a lovely vendor for you. So we're going to buy something. Why not? Vorpam 1. I'm going to buy the pan, and I'm just going to have a bit of fun with it. I've never had that before. So electric whip, firebrands, multiple arrow. We'll go for that because I've not had that before either. So now we've upgraded our thing, upgraded our equipment. These people are not always here, or you won't always find them. But that is an upgrade canister that I don't know the name of it, but yeah, scroll of power. And here you go. You improve your stats. You can. This is a good thing that I like about it. You can improve your stats on the move without necessarily going back to a different area. And these are all color-coded, so you can see what you're uploading all the time. Now, I've got one red item, but I've also got a purple and a green one. So you can raise your HP level with each one, and it gets lower as you get stronger. So I'm obviously going to go to the green one to get maximum health P. Health P? I said health P, didn't I? I meant HP. And rare blueprint. Oh, brilliant stuff. See, I'm unlocking stuff already. And the frying pan seems to be quite good so far. There is a lot to uncover in this game when it comes to the lore, to be fair. Oh, I'm getting all the good stuff. No, I don't want a broadsword. I want the frying pan. Who doesn't want the frying pan? And there are doors that you have to unlock with cash. See, I've done the green one now. I will do the red one. Brutality increased. Also, as well as the 2 attacks that you've got on the X and the Y buttons, you get different upgrades as well. And I will say this. Projectiles are king. The projectiles are king. Like, now it's made me invulnerable and I can regenerate health. So that might be the best one that I've seen, because I've not seen that one before. So we can either go to the Promenade of the Condemned, which will lead to the first boss, or we can go to the Toxic Sewers and I can show you the in-betweeny bit where we upgrade. So I'll possibly do that. And yet, as you can see, the map is still shaded out at the top there, which means I've not explored that area. So I'll quickly go do that now before we head towards the Toxic Sewers. Oh, there's so much to tell you about this game in so little time, but it is great, and it's got a great sense of humour when you can find the bits and pieces. Like here. Cell door. See, you never really quite understand what's going on unless you go lore digging. And as I say, as I've not completed this game, I did, and I kind of, well, not ruined it for myself, but I won't ruin it for you, because now I kind of know what's going on. But it is quite deep and mysterious, and there's quite a really tragic story to the game that you'll find out on your own. Now, before you go to the next lot of dungeons or dungeon-esque places, they're not all underground. Some of them are in the sky, and if you make it that far, you'll see how high the difficulty spike is. But this is where you do your upgrades and such before going into the next zone. See, and these are doors that I've never unlocked personally, because I've never made it. Well, I've made it this far, but I've never done this well. But here we go. Right, this is one of the vendors that are here now. These are your skills, and these are the permanent ones you can unlock. Now, I have been unlocking the health flasks because you only start off with 1 health regen. I have unlocked 2. Now I want to unlock a 3rd, and I think, as you can see, it's a permanent upgrade. But it's quite harsh on how it's done. Everything's very expensive, and you lose your cells every time you die. And I don't think there's a way of keeping them unless there's an unlockable way you can keep them, like the gold reserves. I've done that, so I can keep up to 10,000 when I die once I've unlocked that. Now we go on to the next vendor. Now this is a guy who makes you spend all your cash before going back in. So you're in two minds whether to try and get as much as possible and save as much as possible, and then when you go leave, you try and spend as much as possible. But I don't really know too much about the leveling, so I just pretty much go down the list and spend what I can and leave with as little as possible, because he will take it. Now the mutations, they're something that I really do enjoy. Like, I'm all about having a lot of health, so I will take this one that recovers a little bit of health every time an enemy dies. Pile of corpses. They look a lot like you. Yeah, because you are just a pile of cells that have reanimated some corpse. If the body's yours, it's yours, I suppose, if you own it, eh? This is where you refill your health potion. It was already filled up, but I'll do it again just to make sure. It's always a good thing to do, and it also regens your health there. But now into the toxic sewers, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it, and we'll see some variants of enemies. I hope. Hopefully they've not just been, you know, generated all to the same ones. Slam attack. Right, brilliant. Here we are. Yeah, and no matter where you are in this game, the enemies hit hard, and there's always a ton of them. That's a really satisfying noise with the frying pan. I've not ever used it before. See, even with all the hours that I have put into this game, I'm still finding out things about it. Oh, look. Oh, and I was getting slowly poisoned in that. See, there are a little bit of lore, little points, little bites, little snippets of lore everywhere if you can be bothered to find it. I have tried to find it, but it is just quite difficult. Yeah, I hate that thing. Right, up here now, as you can see, that writhing mass right at the top there, that is an elite enemy. Kind of a sub-boss. They're kind of, well, they are quite difficult, but we shall go up there being vulnerable, and we shall just smack it around a little bit. Oh dear, no, oh dear. And the elite enemies have different attack, and they are a lot tougher to deal with. But you do get a nice little amulet every time you kill one. Now that has taken a lot of health off me, so I'm going to have a quick drink. Up here and then carry on. For a cutesy 8-bit, like side-scrolly platformer, Metroid, roguelike, procedurally generated thing, it's very hard. It is difficult. As I say, I've played this for a fair amount of hours, and I don't think I've come anywhere to completing it. The bosses are tough, and they're huge, and it turns into a bit of a bullet hell at points when you fight a boss, but you'll see that if you decide to play the game and get as stuck in as I have. Because I think you should. There's that vine room working again. Okay, and we got a blood sword now. And each weapon has its own sort of traits, as you can see. Victims emanate a toxic cloud when they die, so that'll affect other people, considering there's no friendly fire in this game, where they can't hurt each other, but they can hurt you quite a bit. Is that friendly fire? I can't remember if that's friendly fire or not, but it's the one where the enemies don't hurt each other via their attacks, but they can definitely hurt you as it did there. Oh dear. What I'll do in a minute is I'll show you me dying so we can get back to the start, and then you can see what we lose and how it all works there. But first, I'm quite just happy smacking these guys around just to see what else I can find along the way. They are the absolute worst, them things, because they leave little enemies of when you've killed them. And you can also boost everything else when it comes to your mutations. See, it's all good. You can do it on the fly. It's all very, very clever. But as well, another thing that I like about it is the fact is your upgrades don't stick. So every time that you die, you come back and you can do kind of a new build. If you just want really strong attacks and health P, then you can do it that. If you want your traps and everything else, like your tactics to go up, you can go up. You can really find the character that you want to be each time you die. So the replayability in this game is absolutely huge. There was a guy there at one point. I think I've annoyed. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's after the amulet I've got. And I just gave him the finger. See, it's got a great sense of humour in this. Okay, he is not impressed with me because I did something that, when I was playing it on my own, that quite annoyed him. So there are NPCs and people you can find, but not a lot of them are going to give you any help. A lot of them don't really want you around, which makes you want to go out and find the lore and the backstory even more, because you want to find out what sort of person you were, or at least I do. So we're going to do a few more hits, find a few more things in this dungeon, and then I'm going to let them guys just mess me up so I can show you what happens when you inevitably die. And unfortunately in this game, you will die. This place is massive. Alright, so I'm going to let this one kill me. And then we shall go back to where we start off. Come on, you. End my life. You know you want to. I'll just stand there and let him beat me up a bit. Oh, he's definitely poisoning me. Jesus Christ. Oh, it killed him. Fair enough. Any more for any more. I'll stand in between these two and let him get me. There we go. And see, all my delicious, lovely cells are gone. Now, that is who you are. You're that little green ball. And look, I did that for you. I lost 23. That could have been 23 towards my next health flask. But I did this for you to show you the game. And this is where you start. You start back in, you roll over, you get into the dead body, and you carry on. And this is my gold reserve. Oh, that just dropped down as well. And that's all I've got so far, because I have not unlocked the next one. And then you go through and you start again. And this is all you do throughout the entire game. It is absolutely bloody brilliant, and I love it. I really think a lot of you should play it, especially if you are into like Dark Souls sort of games, and games that are just going to give you so much frustration, but you know, you love them anyway. And if you do decide to pick this up and you play it and you learn some stuff about it, then please let me know, because I chuck this game on before I go to work sometimes. I play it in my own time. It's just a lot of good fun. It really is. And they've done an absolutely fantastic job with it, Motion Twin, and I'm very happy to just play it all the time. If you want a nice challenging game but you don't have a lot of time, you know, to play it, this is great for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or you could get lost for hours of just going through these dungeons and finding different ways to, you know, get your enemies, different builds you could use, different ways to do it. I can't sell this game enough. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. But you're going to leave me there, and you're going to go watch another video on Memory Card Vault, because I guarantee you they'll be coming up at the end, so you might as well click one of them. And while you're there as well, you might as well give a little like and subscribe and carry on, because it all helps me out. And if you do enjoy this and you want people to share it, if you know someone that might like this game or any of the games that I feature on here, please share this around. It all does me well. But I have been Respice, this has been Memory Card Full in conjunction with Size Matters, and the feature that you have just been watching is what's on Game Pass. This game has been the powerhouse, which is Dead Cells, and I shall see you all very, very soon while you leave me to play this, because now I've started doing a video on this, I'm going to be playing this all goddamn day. But I will see you all very soon. Once again, Respice, Memory Card Full in conjunction with Size Matters. This is what's on Game Pass, and this, again, once again, is the Dead Cells, and I will see you all later. Goodbye!